Saturday morning flight sim.
It's not morning, you drongo. It's evening.
Good evening, good day, good morning, and good night. Welcome to Positive Rate. I'm your host, Willy Connect today. Hope you're all doing well. Night Oxus, morning, everyone. Welcome to Italy. Well, we're not in Italy yet. We're still in Nice. We will be in Italy at some point. We definitely will. So we're taking off from Nice today. And we're going to be, so initially the plan was to jump back into the, actually I don't even know where my plane is now. Initial plan was to jump back into the Duke Turbine today. So I'll switch this over. I hope you're all doing well. Hi, how's it going, guys? Sorry, I'm a bit disheveled this morning. We're just getting ready to go away for a holiday, and amongst my wife packing everything around me, I've been trying to get everything ready for the stream. You'll notice that we had a different intro today. That was what you just watched was the original Positive Rate intro when we first started out way back in 2022. And actually it was at the beginning of 2022, so it's almost 3 years ago, guys. Almost 3 years ago. And unfortunately we got some sad news today. Our dear friend Dark Fury, he's been a long-time member of the Positive Rate team for ever. Unfortunately, has had to step away from the team. He has a lot going on in the real world that he needs to focus on. He just does not have the time, unfortunately, to be a team member anymore. And we wish him all the best. Of course, we hope that at one point he will come back. He still has 2 liveries that he's going to be producing for the PMDG. I think is it the 700 and the 900 or something like that. And he may still do liveries for us occasionally, but for the time being, at the moment, he's no longer going to be an official member of the team. We do hope he'll stick around. He may still pop in as a moderator from time to time. We're not entirely sure, but we wish him all the best. And yeah, all I can say is, thank you, Dark Fury, and this is for you, mate.
Thank you.
Probably haven't seen that for a while. Yeah, huge thank you, Dark Fury. He will be missed from the team, but of course he's still very much a member of the Positive Rate family. We wish him well. We hope that he gets everything sorted in the real world, and hopefully at one point we'll see him back with us on Positive Rate. Anyway, so to in honor of Dark Fury, we've played the original intro today, and we are back in the Piper Turbo Aero 4, provide a first ever add-on from Just Flight. It's a fast little plane, and this is the original livery that Dark Fury did for us, and it's got the Scott leaf on the back. Some nice detailing. See, I even got my my Ponzi Willy Canuck logo on the front as well. Yeah, it's Charlie Foxtrot Hotel Alpha Mike is our first ever airplane, and thought I'd fly it in honor of Dark today. So hopefully you don't mind the switch up. We'll jump right into the plane. We're still using the PMS 50 today, so you can see we've got that ready to go, and we'll have to load the flight plan as well. So anyway, let's get things going here. And thanks, Dark says night. Yeah, that's it. My plane is not visible on Volanta or MFS. Oh, are you in North Europe, and are you in Venice? Or not Venice, Nice. Yeah, it won't be on Volanta, that is true. Import a file. But I will be on Volanta shortly. And I'll just check, make sure that I'm on the correct server. Oh, I'm on West. Why is it on West Europe? That's strange. Odd. See if that makes a difference, Nighthawk. That's an old bug that's come back in. I always used to default to West Europe for some reason. If I can spot you anywhere. I think I'll still be loading in airplanes, so. There you are. There's Nighthawk. Chancellor 414, I would imagine, are you? Yeah. Cool. Okay, yeah, we're off to the races. That's good. Thank you, Nighthawk. If not for you, I wouldn't know what was happening. Okay, so we can take the chocks off. Just want to make sure the brake is set. It is. So we can close the doors and all that stuff. Get ready to go here. Right, so we need to start some engines, because otherwise we're gonna just do a little bit of housekeeping here for a sec. So we have mixture and props to full, and we want to add a little bit of throttle. Fuel. Oh, fuel was on anyway. Oh, fuel. Fuel. That's an important thing now. I think we need to do it. Oh, I think we need to do it this way though for this one. Fuel. We'll take it up to about 90%. That should be okay, I think. We might have to stop along the way, but that's fine. Should keep us right. And hopefully, if everything goes to plan, this should spring into life. Yes, it does. Cool. Okay. Alright, let those engines load up. Now we got a flight plan to put in here. Destination today is LIPV, which is a grass airstrip outside Venice. And our first waypoint today is Charlie Mike November. Oop. Charlie Mike November 03, I think, was it? Yeah, so we're going to do a hybrid today. We will have the flight plan loaded, but because we got some waypoints in there. But when we get to the middle bit up here, sorry, up above, with the VORs, we'll fly that in the. We'll shift over to V-lock mode and use the nav radio to fly that, just to make things a bit more interesting. So, anyway, let's get the waypoints in. So we get Mike November 22 Delta, and we've got Ivlon. And we've got and we've got Nasta. And we've got Alpha Lima Bravo. And we'll pick the closest one. And we've got Sierra Echo Sierra. And we'll pick closest one. Oh, I already put that in. Did it? Yeah, okay. And we'll put in Bravo, Oscar, Alpha. And again, we'll pick the... Ooh, that seems far away. I presume that's the right one. And we'll put in Charlie Hotel, India. I'll do that one there. And Tango Echo Sierra. I'll do that one there. And we got Papa Zulu 43. Which it doesn't have that one. Oh wait, 431 it should be. Could be 431. No, it doesn't seem to have that one. Or 476. It might come in as a custom waypoint if I load the plan. Let's see if we got 476 then. No, we don't have those ones, so I know roughly where we got to do. We're going to kind of do a big circle around Venice and then come back into the grass strip, so we'll have to figure it out. But anyway, that's fine. That's fine. We'll get there. Okay, so if we now look at our map, we should see that that's nicely represented, which it is. And as you can see, the route today, we're going to hug the coastline along southern point of France there, and then heading all the way over along this beautiful coastline, eventually crossing over into Italy. And there is a nice little stopping point there potentially we could use if we need it. Eventually getting up all the way up to Venice, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to fly a nice circle around and come in for this grass strip landing here. Actually, nice circle around. It'll be a nice circle around here. And so we can catch some of the sights of Venice. So, Nighthawk says, see, yes, you're in the 414, yeah, of course. Yeah. Okay. All that being well, we should be good to go here. And we need some lights, don't we? So let's... Can't quite see it because of the prop lever there. All right. The panel lights. Oop. Put that up, and somewhere around here we got on our anti-collision light. Pitot heat can come on as well. Don't need landing lights quite yet. So yeah, we should be good to go. Just a quick control check. Everything working. They're nav points, yeah, okay. They are in your flight plan in 570, yeah. Yeah, I don't know why it's just saying it's not found, so I don't know. It could be an update issue. I think I'm doing a PMS 50 update that I've not used, so it's okay. We'll figure it out. We know roughly where we're going. Right, we can put that tablet away as well. Oh, that one there. Here we go, and stick you on flight plan. Okay, our first VORs. We do have the VORs up here, guys. So if you want to follow along, you can do that. First VOR today will be 11695, and our one after that will be 108. What is it? 60. So we'll just have that in the backup. I did today, I don't know, just 2000. Now, wind. That's a good point. Waypoint info. What's our weather today? Not available. Oh, we're all over the map today. I don't know what's happening here. Runways? We got our choice of 4 left, 22 right. Well, 4 and 22 anyway. Let's have a look at some METAR information. assume we got live weather on, do we? Oh, yeah, we do. Yeah. Okay. And weather. So here, I'll just drop this Metar into the chat. And we got some news today. Some rather slightly upsetting news, I would presume, in the flight sim industry. But it's kind of things have happened the way that people have been worried about, which we'll talk about. And we've got a few other nice little surprises being released today as well. So winds, QNH is 1018. Which is, where's my QNH? Think. 1018, probably about there. And we'll probably fly about, keep it around 5,000, 6,000 today, guys. I think unless we get to mountains, and we can go over that. Right, winds are looking variable. Oh, the variable 4 knots. Okay, so we can pretty much take off from any runway. So I think on that basis, what we'll do is we'll just hook over to 4 left there and take off from there, and hopefully not get in the way of Fat Turtle. Oh, fantastic! I love it. Right, props can come back up to full, then we're good there. Let's get the brakes off. Put our landing lights on anyway. And let's give her a little bit of juice. Run over this guy. There you go. Mincemeat for supper. Nighthawk's rolling there. Actually, if Nighthawk wants to lead, I'll follow him. Ooh, Fat Turtle is a fat guy. 747. Very cool. Yeah, I'll give him a wide berth. I don't want to get scraped by one of those engines. Wow, nice livery too. Look at that. Awesome. A little red light there. I don't know what it is. Oh, it could be. Probably just line up in tandem on this runway, I think. It's a bit cloudy today, though, isn't it? So we'll see how things go on. If it stays cloudy, we might reduce the weather a bit, but I think for now we're okay. Take in that beautiful livery there. Always been a favorite of mine. It pretty much started as a scribble on a that I said, I have this idea for a livery. I sent it to Dark and he went, what the? But at the end of the day, it did translate to something quite nice, and I'm always been very proud of it and very very pleased with it. So yeah. Okay, here we go. So I will manage about 160 knots today, Nighthawk. So obviously you can go a bit quicker than that, but that's what I'm kind of aiming for. Right, now let's get the heading bug over to runway heading first of all. Okay, and don't have to worry about course or anything like that. So we'll let the GPS fly us for a little while. And here we go. for about 70 knots. Probably get airborne just before Nighthawk, although he should be lifting up shortly. There he goes. And gear up. Just taking that beautiful Nice scenery. Look at that. Isn't that wonderful? And flaps can come up as well. A little bit of trim correction for the downward movement on the nose. And we'll bring in the autopilot. Should hold that attitude for a little bit. Our heading mode on there. That will let that heading bug take over the plane. And we can switch it over to nav. In theory. Is it not going to let us? Probably because we're not on the intercept path. So let's go intercept that course. Just zoom in a little bit there. Yeah, we're well off course. That's why that nav is not arming. Cool. That far. Approaching 3,000. Nighthawk is going to do a left turn and then fly over the airfield to fall plan. Oh, okay, right. Well, you should be able to catch up to me fairly quickly, I would think. Okay, we're nosing up a little bit too much there, so let's bring that up. Trim back a bit. And we're just about 4,000 feet. I think we'll probably hold there. Getting some lovely views of the terrain out there. Lots of mountains and interesting, cool stuff. And we'll hit our little imaginary click spot. The Piper Arrow doesn't actually have an altitude hold, but Just Flight has put one in anyway. So if we just click right there, it gives us an imitation altitude hold. So not quite true to life, but for all pragmatic purposes, very, very handy thing to have. Okay, and we can see the nav mode is tripped automatically as we intercept that course. And the plane is turning on course for our first waypoint. And we can have a look out there. You can even open the window if you want. Oh. Okay, I'm going to bring those sim noises down just a little bit. And we'll bring props back a little. And we can turn the fuel pumps off there. So temperature outside, do we have a temperature? There is a temperature thermometer in here somewhere. I can't remember where. Yeah. Not sure. Oh, there it is. It is about 12 degrees, 4,000 feet. Say probably about there, giving us a true airspeed of about 160 knots for 150 indicated. So that is that's pretty good. And if we check We can validate that by looking at our GPS, which was giving us 155. So yeah, there we go. We're roughly correct. And it's actually, if I look, it's just shy. Well, 160. Yeah. So it's always an approximation. And oh, wow, look at this, eh? Mrs. Tippy, good morning. Up bright and early today. How are you? So great to see you. So we're back in some retro styles today. I've got our original Piper Aero 4 and the original Scott Leaf livery. This was before we had the positive rate logo, actually. And look at that water; is just nice and still. But we're taking in some beautiful sights here. There's a football stadium down there, a rather large one as well. Presume that'll be Monaco. What? Must be. But yeah, we should get some really, really nice views today on this coastline. We're just taking off from Nice. We're heading towards Venice. But a very good morning to you, and hope that everything is going well where you are. Look at that. That is great. Nice, nice. She says, nice. Yes, Nice, nice. Okay, guys, I'll leave you with these beautiful views. I'm just going to go grab a coffee because I'm absolutely freezing. The temperature has really dropped here. I'll be right back. Stay with me. beautiful sights here. You saw flying... Oh! Saw Mrs. Tippy flying in Murphy's stream yesterday. Cool. How is Murph? I haven't spoken to him in ages. Oop. So we are approaching now our second waypoint on there. Was it Nost? ALB we should be picking up. You know, we don't have the same stuff in this airplane here. But we can tune it, I believe, on our secondary there, which is 116.95. And that will give us a indication on this is a very old OBS. Around here somewhere, isn't it? Because the heading we wanted. Sorry. Heading we wanted was 047. Technically. Oh, that's away, that's fine. There, that is a bit more sensible. 047, which is about there. Now if we flip over to nav mode, so we'll get 047 dialed in the course as well. We flip that over to nav mode now. See that the slight heading there. Turn the plane to see if we can intercept that path. Now I'm going to keep an eye and see if that nav does engage properly. Otherwise we'll just we'll arm it for ourselves. It was nice to do a jet flight with Murph for a bit of a change. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. What kind of jet were you flying yesterday then? I'm actually keen to, as part of our around the world trip, get back into some of the smaller jets. We have a couple cool ones. First, I've got the CJ4 with a working title upgrade, which I think I'd like to try out, and we've also got the Honda Vision jet, just for something a little bit different. Take off maybe from some smaller airfields. Well, the F-14, of course. That's a silly question, eh? All right, we'll switch that over to nav. And the plane is happy with that. It says, yes, I've got that radial. And I will fly it for you. And thank you very much, airplane. I really appreciate that. And yeah, we're getting some great scenery here. Absolutely fantastic flight plan, courtesy of our news correspondent, Nighthawk, who just decided to chuck in a flight plan. And, oh, it's a doozy. Happy Timmy's Day. What I am going to do though is put on a little bit of extra clothing. I'm freezing. It's a bit better. Some extra layers there. Hey, we're going to be on here for a little bit, so I think we can possibly jump to the news. Oh, the F-35, yeah, that wouldn't be a bad shout. I wouldn't mind getting back in the F-35 again. Or even the, another classic that we used to fly a lot was the BAE Hawk. All these lovely airplanes that we've neglected over the last while. I think it's a good opportunity to maybe just do different kind of flight plans, and we can take advantage of them. But anyway, let's get into news. We got a few things to talk about today, and get right into it. Here we go. Right, well, what can I say? Aerosoft has released the long anticipated, long talked about A330-300, and it's not gone down well. The exterior modeling, I mean, I think a lot of the reviews that I've seen, I've watched a few videos, watched A330 driver actually fly it. Who I think actually may have had a hand at that one point, but it looks amazing. Okay, so we'll say that up front. It looks fantastic. We'll start with the good points. Obviously, a lot of detail gone into the modeling of this airplane, and you know, it's great. But on the whole, the problem comes down to the avionics. It comes down to the FMC, the logic. The way the plane flies with all its various systems, it's just not working, and it's doing all sorts of weird things. And I think part of the problem with this is a purchasable add-on, right? And they're charging money for this, and it's just not good, at all. And I'm really. My heart goes out to Aerosoft because, I mean, Aerosoft has been around for a long time. They did bring out one of the first ever, some may argue, you know, in retrospect, maybe it wasn't that great an airplane. I thought it was actually tremendously good at the time. One of the first jet air add-ons that came out with Flight Simulator, which was the CRJ series. And it, you know, CRJ worked pretty good. You know, it was a great little airplane to fly around. And in fact, we might revisit that at some point in the future. But the problem is it's just been a downhill slide, I think, for aircraft add-ons. I mean, after what was it, the DHC-6 Twin Otter, which eventually they just pulled it from market rather than try and fix it, which I've never even heard of before. It's just not been great, and this was the last great hope, I think, for Aerosoft to really kind of redeem themselves, at least from a day one release. Now, having said all this, I hope that they will remedy the problems. What to do now, it's not to give up, it's not to throw in the towel. Now it's all hands to the wall. Go out to the market, see if you can find someone to help you out if you need to. If you got problems that you don't know how to fix, go and find someone to help you fix them, right? Get this airplane right. It could be a tremendous add-on. It's hit bad reviews right now. There's a lot of bugs, there's a lot of issues with it, but if you can fix them, eventually people will start purchasing the airplane. But at the moment, it's not looking great. And yeah, I mean, what can you say? I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Flying Iron. Now, Flying Iron is long established. Microsoft Flight Simulator for fantastic World War II airplanes. And they've brought out the Focke-Wulf 190 for Flight Simulator. It's looking absolutely tremendous. Flying Iron, by the way, is well known for their great quality add-ons as well. My plane might be flying into a mountain. Nope, I'm okay. I could be past my first waypoint, though. Oh no, it's still on flight plan, I think. No, we're good. We're doing okay. We're flying a Rio. Yeah, no, it should be okay. Give me a bit of a scare there. Anyway, yeah. So if you like the old World War II stuff, Flying Iron's definitely a great studio. They've come out with some fantastic things like the Spitfire and others. But yeah, go check that out. Black Box Simulations. Now this is a plane I might be trying to get for positive rate. It looks awesome. There's been it's been making the rounds with a few content creators, and it's the Brit Norman, I should say, Brit Norman 2T Turbine Islander. So this is the turbine version of the Islander, and it just looks amazing. There's the airborne early warning defender. I love that. Isn't that funny? Looks like Gonzo the airplane, doesn't it? But it's been making the rounds on content creators, and it just looks great. And it's a plane with such amazing heritage. And if we ever get to a point, where we're doing some island hopping on one of our around the world tours, this would be a fantastic airplane to get. It's a great little island hopper. That's probably how I put it, and that's definitely how it's used up here in Britain. There is a pre-existing Islander that you can get from Microsoft Flight Simulator, but I was always a little hesitant. It just didn't look quite that good. Whereas this one absolutely looks fantastic, and content creators have been trying it out. I think Two-Tone Murphy was flying at one point. Really loved it. So yeah, I'm definitely excited for this, and I'll definitely be reaching out to Black Box to see if we can do something with them. That'd be great. Parallel 42, another add-on has come out here. So this is a Widow's Peak, they call it. Which is in Lincoln County, is it Wisconsin or Wyoming, and it adds a lot of extra detail to a place that has a lot of heritage for bush flying, and it looks really cool. Parallel 42, I think I've known them more for utilities, but this looks really spectacular. And of course, if you're a big fan of the Flying Fox and airplanes like that, this is probably right up your alley. But the detailing in the area just looks fantastic. We've put all sorts of custom scenery for this kind of cliff face here. It's looking really good. So yeah, go check that out, Parallel 42. I think that is available on Parallel 42 store. So you can go search them up on Google there and go and get it from them. And finally, SoFly has brought up another utility, and this might be something that we'll look into too. This is the OPS Brief Viewer Pro, which is designed to work with SimBrief, I believe. Life easier, so pulls your SimBrief data directly into the sim. No more switching between windows or getting lost in a sea of tabs. I mean, a lot of the add-on planes kind of do this automatically anyway, but this might be quite useful. But what I really like about it is it kind of gives you a pop-up window, and you can look at your flight plan and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, they're constantly bringing out these clever little utilities that just seem to make life a lot more easier. There we go. Just to give you an idea of what it looks like. Probably quite handy too for airplanes that are maybe don't have that SimBrief integration as well. So and I think, I'm not quite sure, but this possibly might integrate the nav information into the sim itself as well. No more tabbing the CPLO data. There you go. So it's looking good. Yeah, it just gives you a bit of organization there. If you do a lot of IFR flying, this is probably something you'd be really happy with. Anyway, guys, that is it for the news today, and we'll jump right back to our flight. Thank you for watching. Okay. Right, flight plan check here. What are we up to? What are we up to? They seem to be drifting a little bit off here. We're still flying to... Oh, we're flying on an outbound radio to ALB. So what we'll do is we'll just... we'll flip over to 10860. We need a heading of 50. So if I Just hit that. We'll bring that radial in. We can see we're off course there. So let's... Oh, it looks like the airplane's going to intercept anyway, so that's fine. But the course we want to fly should be 50 directly. There we go. Some noises up a bit here. And just taking in those coastal views. Absolutely spectacular scenery. What a place. What a location. All these lush greens and beaches and everything. It's really, really, really nice. It's no wonder such a popular area, that's for sure. Quick fuel check. Plenty of fuel in the tanks there. We got a slight imbalance. Of course, we're flipping between two tanks. This happens automatically. You can turn that off. But because there's no crossfeed in the aero, what you need to do, and what this add-on does automatically, by the way, is it continually flips between left and right tank to kind of get that balance. So you can see that I presume it'll be on the left tank right now. No, it's on the right tank right now. So at some point we should see that flip over automatically. But I'll keep an eye on it anyway, just in case it doesn't do that. Oh dear, dear. Anyway, let's see if we can find Nighthawk. Is he around here somewhere? Oh, there he is. Not too far away. Holding nicely, 150 indicated at the moment. That's a good cruising speed for the Turbo Aero. It's very, very quick. Oh, dear, oh dear. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? Splendid scenery here. You can't get better than this, honestly. This is a beautiful part of the world. We've got some large windmills down there. I do love the noise of those, of this turbocharged aspirated engine. It's absolutely amazing. This is something we don't use very often, but I've always been a fan of it. So this was represents my heritage. I come from Scottish ancestry and I live in Scotland, but my heart and my birth country of birth is Canada. So I have this thing called the Scott Leaf, which is something I've always cherished, and I'm so happy to show this off to you again today. Now, you know, just a huge round of applause for Dark Fury. Absolutely fantastic guy. We wish him well. But yeah, there's you can pretty much bounce a penny off that water. It looks like glass, doesn't it? Okay, we've got a navigational change coming up here, so I think this is when we intercept Sierra Echo Sierra, which is what we're flying to at the moment. And then we'll be making our way to Bravo Oscar Alpha. So So we'll get that ready in our backup frequency. That is 117 and 10. Just leave that in backup for the moment. And just, we'll keep tuning this on our OBS right now. Actually, I want to put that in there as well. 117. Drop that in. And we want to fly that on a course of 082. So that is about there. Roughly. And we're not currently picking up that frequency as yet, so we're a little bit far away. So what we'll need to do is fly an outbound radial of 082 from Sierra Echo Sierra until we pick up that VOR. Comfy little four-seater with a little bit of room for luggage. And you'll mention, you recall that I said that these tanks flip over, so you can actually see that's now flipped over to the left tank, just to kind of keep that balance between the two wings. But through the magic of simulation, we don't have to worry about that. The airplane will take care of it. We do have a ADF radio down here, but we don't have any NDBs on the route today, so we're not going to be using that. But if we were, that's where we'd be changing frequencies. Good question I have is, how do you do the dot? Because I don't think this one can do the dot. Yeah, I don't think that one can do the dot, actually. We got our DME radio here. So that'll be keying off the second one? Or the first one? Probably nav 1, I would think. Yeah, it must be, because we're 4.7 miles. 155 knots. Okay, navigational change coming up. I'm going to switch over to heading mode. I'll use the heading bug as our guide, and we're going to fly an outbound radial of 082. We're going to dial that over. And as soon as we see that closing onto the radial, outbound radial for 082 from Sierra Echo Sierra, then we'll flip it back to nav mode. You can watch this happen in real time on the nav here. And this is pretty much how I would fly a hybrid route. So if I'm going to use VORs, obviously the GPS unit can absolutely do this automatically, but just for fun. We're using the GPS unit as a reference to make sure that we're still on course, and we're actually using the proper VOR radios to track course. So. Looks like our 4,000 foot altitude so far is not holding us in a safe place, so that's good. Okay, so we are getting very close to that radial now. We should start seeing the radial path drift in. And it's on the left as opposed to the right, because this is we're tracking an outbound radial. So you'll see it's gone off temporarily. And now it's behind us, so now it's actually showing as to the right? Yeah. So actually, we're not going to intercept it if we keep on this path. So what we're going to need to do is direct the airplane, and you can see where that pink line is. We are indeed left of the path. So we will over rotate here. Just say about there. Nice and gradual. You can see that plane's coming back on path, and what we're looking for is that outbound radial of 082 to close in. There it comes. And then once we're happy with that, we can switch this back to nav mode. Obviously the dials on this airplane look very, very different. They're much older, but the functionality is still the same regardless of what kind of plane you fly. Switch over to nav. Plane now has control. And according to this outbound radial, we can see that it is narrowing on the track. As a reference, what this has actually done is put us back on the course direct to our next destination, which is Bravo Oscar Alpha. Now, I have Bravo Oscar Alpha 11710 dialed into nav2 radio, and this OBS marker here it says nav2 will pick up that VOR when we're in range, but at the moment we've got a barber pole there. That means it is not currently picking up, and the reason is simple: it's too far away. But we know that the course is 082. So as long as we fly on, we can fly the outbound course on 082 from Sierra Echo Sierra, and then as soon as we pick up that frequency on here, we'll flip over to Bravo Oscar Alpha, and we'll fly the radial in 082 to Bravo Oscar Alpha. Does that make sense? I think I might have confused myself. It's a great way to train, though, if you're... Last time we did this, I just flew with the stock radios. I was using little nav map, but because we have the PMS 50 unit in here, the GTN750, it's a good reference thing, and it's a good way to teach yourself how to fly radials. Nighthawk says VOR Bravo Oscar Alpha has a range of 195 nautical miles. Oh, you've picked it up. Right. Okay, let's go have a look. It could be because you're higher, Nighthawk. Is it behind a mountain? Okay, tell you what we'll do. Let's gain some altitude, because your detection range of a VOR can be impacted by the altitude, and actually it will be, because there's mountains here, right? So let's go up a little higher. Let's go up a little higher. Now what you're going to do, we're slowly climbing here, and this is true to life, guys. I can't pick up the beacon because the mountains are in the way, right? So I'm going to increase my altitude, and what we're going to do is watch to see if that suddenly changes, because I know that Nighthawk is a bit higher than I am. And that could be the reason that I'm not intercepting it at this moment. Otherwise, I don't know. Because in theory, our sim should be the same. Yeah, I need to climb. Yeah, absolutely. Once the airplane decides to climb, keep putting back trim on it. It keeps... it's kind of butterflying a bit here. Right, there. Try and hold that a bit. Come on. Keep going. Just watching, see if this barber pole disappears. Just putting a little bit of back trim every so often just to try and keep it on a climbing path there. Okay, nearing 5,000. Nighthawk is also a little bit off to the right of me as well, and that might have a bearing, I'm not sure. We're just keeping an eye on that radio. Still nothing detected yet. That's us at 5,000. I'm still not picking anything up. I'll tell you, as a test, I'm just going to put this back into heading mode. I'll just see if nav 1 can pick it up. No. So we're not picking up on nav 1 either, so that is a true reading. Am I on 1171? Yes, I am. Yeah. Right there. Continue to climb. Let's we'll take it up to 6,000 and see if that makes it a difference. Get a little bit of turbulence from the terrain below us. That's expected. And actually, it looks like we probably did need to climb anyway. Ooh. You can see as we're coming over that crest of the mountain, that wind, just currents pulling the airplane down. But we're still on course, so you know, at the moment we're tracking nicely on the outbound radial from Sierra Echo Sierra. So we're not yet currently lost. I was due a nav update, but I can't see that impacting this VOR somehow. Look at the colors, guys. Look at that. Lush green hills. Definitely looks like wine country, doesn't it? Absolutely stunning. Okay, we're now approaching 6,000. Still nothing on the nav 2 yet. And possibly once we get closer to that value, we might start picking it up. Okay, I can't see anything yet. I'm going to hold the airplane at that altitude. So we're sacrificing a little bit of speed to get our climb in. And we'll just keep an eye on that. But I am confident at some point, if that beacon is there, we should be getting it. And there could be I don't know if this is a thing, but there might be a VOR sensitivity setting or configuration in the airplane, and possibly the turbo aero might not have as good a radio or as good an antenna as the Chancellor 414. Is that a possibility, Nighthawk? I don't know if that's a thing or not, but I would think that, you know, one plane to the next in real life, some will pick up beacons better than others, just depending on how good their antenna is. You occasionally lose the VOR, yeah. Oh! Nope, what happened there? Oh, it flipped over the nav mode. Okay, it was on heading mode, wasn't it? So it's basically drifted off and then clicked into nav and said, nope. I think it's the mountains. I do too. I almost 100% certain that, because VOR, it is a line of sight, right? So if you, what do I got to show? So if you're an airplane up here, right, You got a nav radio sitting on the ground. It's beaming signals, right? But if you put a mountain in the way, sorry, this side. I can't do this with two hands. If the beacon's here and there's a mountain in the way, it doesn't matter where your airplane, if your airplane's here, it's not going to see it. So you got to go a lot higher to get that line of sight path. Sorry, I'm doing this in reverse. This is why I'm confused. To do that line of sight path, right? Or you got to wait till you get closer. Well, we could experiment. I'll tell you what. Let's kick this puppy into gear. I'll tell you what. Let's kick this puppy. Well, let's go up to 10,000. Let's really juice it here. I'm gonna bring our climb rate right up to 15 feet per minute, 1,500 feet per minute. I'll just hold that nose. Let's get this airplane up. And again, you're watching that nav2 radio to see if that springs to life. It's a lesson in aviation, but a lesson in physics at the same time. It's absolutely fantastic. Nothing yet. It's got a cool little thing here because there's no altitude hold, but it's still doing the lateral. So I can pull back and stick and climb the plane manually, but the airplane's still flying the path on its own. It's quite cool. Okay, now if I look out front visually, I can see that those mountains are definitely getting lower in the horizon now. Which means the chances of getting that line of sight is probably increasing dramatically. But we'll keep going. I'm still not picking anything up yet. Just holding it about 1,000 feet per minute at the moment. Passing 8,000. Not a factor, obviously, if you're in an airliner. Airliners do use VOR and DME radios as reference checks and corrections for their inertial guidance system. So they are GPS based, but they do also use DME and VOR radials, beacons, I should say, as a correction tool. And there can be a disagreement sometimes, especially if you got a GPS jamming situation. You'll see that if you fly the PMDG. As you're flying along, you'll see the NAV1 and NAV2 radios on your ICAS will suddenly spring to life, and they'll have a certain frequency, and then it'll disappear, and then it'll be another frequency. And that's basically the airplane has a whole database of reference points that it will pull in, and it can use that to triangulate its position and correct against any kind of GPS anomaly. So it's quite cool. Almost at 10,000 feet, and that's where I'm probably going to hold it. Now I'm definitely getting above these mountains. So at this point, we either have to make the assumption that for whatever reason my sim does not have this beacon, which is possible, or the radio on this plane, if it does exist, is not as sensitive as the one that Nighthawk has. But we'll take it up to 10,000. trimming it out here a bit. Keeping it 500 feet per minute as we edge it to 10,000 feet. You think it's in the mountains? Yeah, it could be. I think you're right. Okay, there's 10,000 feet, our little click point there. The airplane will hold that altitude now. Gain some speed because we've dropped to about 110 indicated. I don't want to get too much slower than that. We'll bring the throttles back to you just to give that all. This is an overboost warning, so that basically means it does. If that light comes on, it means you're just putting too much fuel into the plane and it's not actually helping anything. Also, 10,000 can probably thin the mixture out a bit as well, and you can hear those engines spooling up. You want to find the sweet spot. So obviously at thinner air, you want to thin out that mixture to get a better combustion because there's not enough oxygen to burn through fuel at full mixture, and that's why we thin it out. Otherwise, you're just basically burning off a lot of carbon, a lot of unburnt fuel is going through your engine at that point, and it's not as efficient. And I imagine it probably makes the engine quite dirty as well. It probably needs to be cleaned regularly if you're using rich fuel at high altitude. Okay, we don't have any beacons at the moment now, so I'm going to rotate that over to our beacon. Okay, BOA DME. We have a red flag on the nav, so it is basically heading mode. But we can leave that nav armed, and what will happen is as soon as the nav reel picks it up, it'll flip automatically into nav mode from radio mode, which is quite a handy feature. So at the moment though, we're just flying a dead reckoning course. This is why I always say put Snoopy in the doghouse, because once the airplane loses its radial, it's going to default to your heading marker, right? So you always want to make sure that heading marker is pointing to your nose. And that is already correcting for things like winds, because the airplane would have been doing that anyway as you were flying along that radial. So if you're holding that heading, it should be generally keeping you on track. Having said that, obviously as you continue to fly, if the winds change, then it's not going to account for that. But for the most part, it should keep you on the straight and narrow until you come in range with your next beacon. If we just do a quick turn out, we can see we are just on the external range of that initial beacon there, and we're just about here. I'm reckoning, actually, that we should pick it up about there. I will say, Nighthawk, in your settings, and I can't remember if this is there, in your settings there might be a realism setting for VORs. And I think it's something like train, line of sight or train blocks VORs. Make sure that that's turned on, because I'm not sure if, I'm pretty sure it's a setting, but that could be why you're receiving it and I'm not. Luckily, we have the magic of GPS today, so. Despite the fact we're on Dead Reckoning course, we know that we're roughly on track. Don't think you have it set since I keep losing the VOR, likely because of the mountains. Yeah. Oh, there's Mrs. Tippy. Hey. Love how she just magically appears out of the blue. Where's your husband, by the way? Have you got him doing all the cooking and cleaning today? Now we can also check what's our temperature today. We just about 0 at this altitude, and we're at 10,000. So we're going to put that 10,000 on 0, right? So we're 149, 148 indicated, but our true airspeed is actually closer to 170. Oh, sorry, is that 170? Yeah. According to GPS, though, we're actually 183. So why would there be discrepancy there? The discrepancy is, well, change fields. There we go. The discrepancy could be because we've got a tailwind, but now that I look at that, it's just it's blowing from the side, so I have no idea. Again, this is an approximation, so. Oh, and looks like we have finally reached our inbound range of that VOR, which is Bravo Oscar Alpha. You can see the flags dropped off on there. The flags dropped off on there. I saw the nose starting to turn, so the plane was picking up the radial and is now intercepting that radial perfectly. And if we go to our DME, that is, yeah, you would think we'd be picking up a lot earlier than that. 44 miles out. So that is not a lot of range, considering. So I think there might be something a little bit off there, but could be the mountains. I think Nighthawk's right. He's having a coffee. It's my superpower, is it? Yeah. Appearing out of nowhere. He's having a coffee and doing some other things at the moment. Ah, right. Well, I'm having a coffee as well. There we go. Cheers. We're rocking and rolling right now. Absolutely flying along. For an old turbocharged airplane, I'll tell you what, you know, we've been flying the Duke turbine all this time. And the turbo arrow is not as fast, but it is still pretty fast. For a single prop general aviation plane, it is a rocket. Chikogia, or something like that. Chikogia, I would say. Bologna is where we're flying over right now. Chikogia, though, is frequency of 114.10, which is cross-referenced in our eggs up here as well. So that's fine. And what I'll do there is I'll get that automatically... I'll get that put in here too so we can pick that up on the nav2 radio if it's anywhere near us. And it looks like it is, actually. Strangely. Oh no, we haven't transferred it yet. There we go. Transfer that. No. So yeah, we're not picking up Chikogia just yet. That's fine. Not that I was expecting to. Very handy little unit though. The PMS 50. You got your 650, your 750, and your 650 unit. Really great for getting all sorts of critical information. Actually, I wonder if it's going to give us weather. Should be able to get weather at LIPS anyway. Waypoint info, weather data, not available. Huh. Very strange. I'm actually wondering if my I'm wondering if please activate your license. Ah. Yeah, I think that was that Microsoft update that did that. Alright, so I'm flying on an unlicensed version of... that's probably why I'm not getting weather info at the moment. Just super annoying. Okay. Very, very annoying, that. Very annoying! See if we can actually get that. Ugh, for God's sake. Trying to see if I can recover my license or not. Excuse me. Oh gosh. Alright, anyway, we'll go back to the map, just make sure we're keeping an eye on things here. Do. Expiration line. Okay, here we go. Manage sites. Deactivate. I'd say. Okay, we're actually picking up the next radial as well. So our course for that is going to be 004. So I'm going to go back into heading mode here. And we're going to rotate that to 004, which is way down here. Almost north. Almost north. Right there. And because we're already picking up this beacon, even though we haven't overflown our first one, we can actually swap that in now. And flip this back into nav mode. Actually, it'll switch over automatically, but we'll just wait until we hit that radial, since we're already picking up the new one. Yay. Okay. So now if I go to point info, should I get weather data? Oh. Damn you, Microsoft. Oh, man. Metar. Oh, my God. This is torturous. There must be a better way. Pierre, come on, there must be a better way. Oh dear, oh dear. Next. There's better things to do than be putting in like multiple, you know, U, V, E underscore down. Hyphen 0 U and D. Don't write any of this down, guys. C3 D 7 X A. It's like typing on a iPhone, which I hate. X S E A O V. Sorry guys, I'll be right with you. I really want to get this done because I want my weather. X, Z, D, Bravo. This better bloody work, I tell you. 8, enter. Nope. Got it wrong somewhere. QN era 0 QN DB CNN G3 Gab 7X A hyphen X. Oh, missing a, I don't know what it is. Missing the underscore there. Underscore SEA. God almighty. There's gotta be a better way. X Z D D D 8. Let's try that. Enter. Test my tear. Yay! Okay. Right. So now if you go to flight plan, after all that, sorry for bearing with me guys here. Waypoint info, and I get my weather, and we don't have any weather that dates our data for Venice anyway. Well, of course that's probably won't be because that's just a little airstrip. Okay, we're watching that radio. Should be closing in soon, hopefully. See if anybody's around me. Sorry. Oh, I've lost everyone. Where are you guys? Where's Nighthawk? Where's Mrs. Tippy? Oh, there's Mr. Tippy. How are you doing, sir? Oh, there's Nighthawk there. Okay. He's dropped altitude quite a lot. And we should be approaching that radial, so we'll see what happens. That's tuned into the next one, which is... Is it Charlie Hotel India? So once that closes in on that radial, which should... Oh, it wasn't 004, it was 149. 049. I've got the wrong course. It should actually be pointing to... there. Roughly. Yeah. Good thing I checked that. 004 is the last one. I could probably get the weather for Lips. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So I think you can do that by just hitting waypoint info, airport. There's a way to, I think you can just punch in, can you do it on here maybe? I'm not sure. Whoop. Waypoint on, there you go. 1 point info, Lips. Weather data. There you go. Hey! We got there in the end. Got there in the end. Still not intercepted that radio yet. That's interesting. Okay. Oh, no, it has switched to nav mode, so it is intercepting it. It's probably when we're in a gradual turn. But yeah, that's pretty cool. So you can just press it on the map there. And we can see what are we getting there. So 1019. So we could probably set that now, actually. And winds are 130 at 5 knots. Okay. So I'm going to use this just to set 130 so I remember where those winds are. And now we're tracking nicely on the new radial, which is into Chikoga. Put Snoopy in the doghouse. Okay. Cool. Oop. Didn't want to change that. What was it supposed to be, a 149? There's Nighthawk down here. There's Mississippi. We're all very close together anyway. I could probably start dropping altitude now as well, because we're far up too high here. So I'm going to take off that. Let's bring down the throttle a bit. Just bring up the mixture as well. Get a little bit closer to the rest of the pack here. Quick look around, just in case we see anybody interesting. Oh, lots of farmland down here though, isn't it? Looks like everyone's hovering about 3,000, so we'll get down to about that. Temperature, well, do a temperature check when we get there. Let's say it's going to be about 8 degrees though at 3,000. Probably be down there. Yeah, lots of farmland out here. It's really quite incredible. You know, one thing since we started this around the world flight, I'm starting to pay attention to how many farms there actually are in the world. And it's just crazy to think how much effort it takes to feed the world population, doesn't it? It's such a precious commodity, and you know, obviously, climate change is a massive worry, because if it disrupts our food chain, it's not going to be a good time. Just why it's so important, I think, to admire and take in the beauty of the world, even though we're doing it in the virtual sense anyway. And descending nicely, just about 7,500 now. I'll just let that plane descend a little bit. I'll be right back with you guys. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Okay, where are we? 5,000 feet. Just about in line with Nighthawk, and Mississippi's probably behind the pillar there. Mr. Tippy says we are losing all of our farmland around here. They're being bought up and houses are being built. Yep, same thing happening here. If you go up to any of the cities or around Edinburgh, it's just houses, 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 houses. I have no idea who's buying them. The prices of these houses are so expensive that I can't honestly understand how anybody in this area could afford them, because I certainly couldn't. But they're getting sold. They're getting sold, and a lot of people are moving up to Scotland, unfortunately, from all parts of Britain, which has its pros and cons. But it's completely changing the cultural landscape of Scotland. In terms of we're having a lot of English moving up, especially from the south, because things are just too expensive down there. So they're selling, 2-3 bedroom flats in Kent and coming up here and buying like an 8-bedroom mansion, more or less. And that's just how it is, unfortunately. But it's pricing out all the young people out of the market. I can't see the day coming anytime soon, but I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing St. George's Cross being flown at some guy's house. They could give it a go and get torn down or set on fire, but you could get away with the Union Jack, but that's St. George's Cross. Oh, you see Stu sneaking up on us. Hey Stu, how are you? Great to see you, mate. Mr. Tubby says, house prices finally starting to drop around here. It's a buyer's market right now? Oh, right. Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, it's anything, if anything, it's the complete opposite. Certainly in my area. Because we're in quite a picturesque area, and it seems to have been discovered now, so. It's the same story that's played out anyway. We had a lot of industry here, a lot of textile mills, and lifetime jobs for people that have been doing the same thing for, better part of 30, 40 years, and little by little they all closed and went away, got sold off, closed, and moved offshore, and there was nothing left apart from hospitality and retail. And now we've kind of been rejuvenated because of downhill biking, because we've got a lot of hills in our area, and a lot of new businesses have kind of sprung up, which is, I guess, a good thing. But most of them are like hospitality kind of places, and they're basically geared towards the biking community. So if you're not into biking, you're not really benefiting from it unless you're working for them, and possibly you're working as a cook or a waitress or something like that, or a waiter. It's not a lot going for young people growing up here. My kids, I would expect, are going to have to go elsewhere to find their careers. GTA housing. So GTA, that's Greater Toronto area. Housing is madness, even with the price drop. So many commute far from home now. Yeah, I don't know why. That's one of the reasons I moved here. I used to, and my commute wasn't bad. So we were living in Hamilton. I used to be right near the train station. It was about an hour and 10 minutes on the train. GO train I used to take the morning and then come back at night. And it was like a 5-minute walk to the train station, 3-minute walk to the train station to my house, or to my flat. And I quite enjoyed the commute, but I think the problem I had is, if that train wasn't running for some reason, or is the problem, it was an absolute bloody nightmare. And there was no way in HE double hockey sticks I was going to be driving to Toronto. And it just boggles my mind. And now they've redeveloped Ontario Place, I saw, and they're building this new spa whatever venue, which looks horrible. And they're putting in 1,600 parking spaces. Why? Why would you encourage people to drive to this? It's madness. It's crazy. Mr. Tippy says, yeah, renting a small condo right downtown Toronto is 4 times the amount of my mortgage. Yeah, it's insanity. Just insanity. Anyway, navigation-wise, where are we going next? We're going to Tango Echo Sierra, which is 11530. I think we'll drop that in. And the course for that is... So that should come back to heading mode, which it has. And we want that to be... That's going to be 0004, isn't it? Yeah. Right about there. So as to be expected, we are southwest of the radial. I'll wait until that intercepts and we should see the nav radial click back into action as well. Did you hear the Premier's plan for a tunnel under... Yeah, the 401, yeah, I know. It's insanity. Billions and billions and billions of dollars that will not fix any problems, any traffic problems in Toronto. The more roads they build, the more cars go on it, the more it gets clogged. It does not... I mean, this is... The 40... was it the 407, the toll route, was supposed to fix all that. And it's just made life miserable for everybody. It's insane. That's the stupidest thing anyone's come up with. Well, you know, it is Doug Ford after all, isn't it? Only slightly less stupid than his brother who managed to kill himself with drugs. And if it wasn't drugs that had killed his brother, it'd probably been syphilis at one point, I'd imagine. We got that boost light on, so we'll take that off. There we go. We're starting to get some lovely views here. Look at this. This is our final kind of transgression before we go all the way to Venice. Closing in on that radial. We should see that that nav click into life any minute now. Was it flying car would fix it? Okay. Yeah, it's just mental, isn't it? It's as if the cost of the 407 was a lot cheaper, it would help out a lot. Doesn't matter when you go on it, it's pretty dead. Yeah, they should allow the tractor trailers on there for free. Yeah, I guess. I mean, the one thing I did like is sometimes if I was leaving later in the day for work, I used to take the Go Express bus. So there was a direct... used to leave from the Hamilton bus station to... went to Toronto, well, it was Union Station essentially, wasn't it? But that used to go on the 407, so it was actually pretty rapid. Sometimes it was actually faster than the train, amazingly. Oop, I got to freeze and let my mouse sit there and cook. All right. Don't see that the navs come on there, so I'm going to switch that on now. Traffic, we'll get a traffic warning there. Okay. That means someone's hounding me. Who is it? Oh, can't see anyone. Why are you not turning? Alright, I'll tell you to turn then. Oh, the heading switch has gone off for some reason. Alright, that's alright, we can fix that. We've got an ATR 46. Some lovely beaches down there. Oh, we're dropping way too low. Let's get the altitude hold back on. Whoa, how did we get that low? Okay. That's alright. We're holding at 1,800 feet. That'll do. Still got tons of fuel. We're just about half tanks left. So that's given us... plenty of opportunity to, or plenty of fuel to get us to our destination today. Yeah, I don't know what's, urban planning in Greater Toronto area is just mental. I mean, Hamilton, they're trying to put in the first of 3 tram lines. So there's one going from way out from Stony Creek all the way over to Westdale. I mean, I think total distance is somewhere like, I don't know, 10, 15 miles. And I honestly think that it'll be a good thing for Hamilton. I think it's a great idea. But there's so many people fighting it. And I think, well, you know what? I mean, you can't just be driving cars everywhere. I think part of the problem is, you know, they were depending on funding from the Canadian government, depending on funding from the Ontario government. And the Ontario government, as you can imagine, is just dick them around constantly. Because, you know, Ontario government at the moment doesn't believe in green transport. They just want everything they want cars and beer. Your day should only consist of driving to work, driving home, then driving to the 7-Eleven, picking up a beer, right? We're quite lucky in Scotland. I mean, it's a bit on the expensive side, but my kids, up till the age of 22, can ride the bus for free anywhere in Scotland. And anyone of pension or retirement age can ride the bus for free anywhere in Scotland. And some people I know have actually taken, that includes the inner city buses, so some people I know, pensioners, they've taken the bus up to the city, to the Edinburgh bus station, and then they'll get the inner city bus to Inverness all the way up, you know, to the top of Scotland practically. Costs them nothing. And the amount of people, like retired people, that's got out and moving and going out and visiting places, it's been absolutely fantastic. I don't know how long that policy will stick, but I mean, it's great for them and it's great for the kids. Mr. Tipp says, a lot of jobs 15, 20 years ago were right downtown Toronto, and Markham, now Pickering, is my cutoff, and I still even try to avoid going Pickering. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of, you know, places like Brampton, Mississauga. I used to work... My furthest driving commute is I used to work in Oakville. So I used to drive to Oakville from Hamilton every day on the 403. Or actually it was QEW. 403 initially, and then QEW from Burlington onward. I mean, some days it was quick. I mean, on a clear day, you know, you should be able to drive that in about half an hour, max. Some days I saw it, whether it was weather or traffic or crash related, it would take me up to 2 hours. It's just the way it was. It was horrible. Nobody likes driving to work. I don't care what anybody says. It's insanity. And it causes so much wear and tear on your car as well. And cars are expensive enough as they are. Okay, now we were missing waypoints here, so we're gonna basically fly over Lips. So we'll stay on this radial. And as soon as we see Lips, we'll just do a nice circle around and come back in for that airfield. But we should be able to get a glimpse of the airfield as we're coming in, which is going to be off to our left. So maybe we could do a bit of a recce there. Mrs. Tippy's getting nice and low. She's going in to see where this place is. Don't panic, 75. Love it. Don't panic. Oh, there's Stu. Oh, he's in a helicopter. Okay. Which will probably look like an airplane for me, but that's fine. Look at that. That's crazy, eh? Again, it looks like a very expensive place. You wonder if all this is going to be here in about 10 years, though. I just love all the canals, though. It's really cool. CH-47. Yeah, I can never get my head around helicopters. There you go. Look at this, guys. There it is. So we'll take it off file pile. Let's go have a look. It's absolutely amazing that this place even exists. It just goes to show how ancient Venice is, though, doesn't it? Thousands and thousands. Well, thousands of years, yeah. I guess thousands of years. Venice will be back to Roman times, won't it? So, but yeah, it is cool. Look at this. And there's, look at all the cruise ships in there as well. Wow. You can just see the little canals down there in between the buildings. There's a train station there. Oh, I never noticed that. A big one, too. It's got amazingly good transport connections, considering it's pretty much an island. Imagine, is that purely trains, or there'll be roads as well, I would think, isn't it? Or is it just trains? Maybe just trains. Oh no, yeah, there's a road bridge as well. Goes over the top. That's cool. I want to take a closer look at that. That is really neat. Oh, you love the Chinook? Yeah. Okay, let's see if we can get a closer look at this bridge here. Very cool. So must have the road on one side and the tracks on the other. Okay. Get a nice little pass over Venice here. Look at that. How does it exist? Absolutely incredible. Well, let's not hit the spires though. All these old churches and... Well, there's a mosque down there as well. Look. I think it's a mosque. Well, it could be Christian, I'm not sure. Absolutely crazy, isn't it? What a place to live. Okay. Let's see if we can find our strip then. I think Mississippi might be there already. Just handy because it gives us a little marker. What did we say the winds were? We said they were about 230. What did I put into my OBS there? No, 130. 130. A little grass strip on your end, yep. So 130 means that's going to be a crosswind actually. So probably do need to land from that direction actually. But yeah, we can definitely see the strip, so that's cool. So we'll do a crosswind right base, right hand circuit. So what I'm going to do is trim out the plane here. I want to turn that 130. Sorry, what was the runway direction? Does anybody know? What's the runway heading? Have to try and eyeball it for the moment. $23? Thanks, Nano. Okay. Right, that's fine. Okay. Good to good to good. Okay, prop stop. Fuel pump can come on. Let's bleed off some speed. Got visual of the runway, there it is. Gear down. Flaps on. $1,500. Wow, look at all these houses down here as well. There we go. Airport in sight. Everybody's gotten the ground nice and safe. How was your landing, Nighthawk? Okay, full stage of flaps coming in now. Increasing throttle to compensate. Visual on runway. Stu is slewing. Keeping above those trees. Oh, I got some funky stuff happening with the... there we go. Nice and soft, nice and soft, nice and soft. There we go. Wheels down. A little bit of brakes. You're on the fun way. Runway, yeah, you meant to say runway, okay. Alright, we'll go join everyone over here. Whoa! He looks like an airliner. There we go. Cool. There we go. Alright, mixture cut off, props down. Pumps can come off, electronics can come off. Get all those doors open, chock, stop. I can open up everything. Here we go. Okay. And there you have it. Chinook is your favorite helicopter? Yeah, they are pretty cool. I usually see them flying through the valley. There you go. Thank you. Big thank you to Nighthawk, as usual, providing great news and flying with me today. Huge thank you to Mrs. Tippy, who joined us in the air, and a shout out to Stu, who was able to come in the end. Obviously, he's got a V22 now, which doesn't look like a V22, unfortunately. But absolutely fantastic to have you all with us today, and lovely flight plan. Big thanks to Nighthawk for a beautiful flight plan, actually. Absolutely fantastic flight plan. Beautiful coastal views of coming from Nice, France, all the way over to Italy. And yeah, it was good fun. Really enjoyed it. I appreciate it. I will be going up north to the Highlands tomorrow. There will not be a stream next week, guys. But we will return as normal on Saturday. What day is that now? That is Saturday the 26th will be our next stream. We are, of course, in Venice. We'll probably be flying out of Lips as opposed to this airfield, so we'll probably do an airline flight. If you have any suggestions on our destination where we can continue our around the world tour, please do drop it in Positive Right Flight Plan. Remember that it has to start from LIPV, so that's probably where we're going to be departing from. But yeah, be a jet flight. Try and keep the time under 2 hours if you can, and love to see your suggestions and decide where we're going to go next. And we're never going to go to the same country twice, so it'll be interesting to see what you guys come up with. Anyway, thank you so much. Have a really fantastic weekend, guys. Wish you all a very pleasant weekend and a great week, and we'll see you again on the 26th of October. Mr. Tippy says, have a great day, everyone. Absolutely. Have a great day from all of us here at the Positive Rate team. Farewell. See you guys.